Good day, dear listener, and welcome to the Novitero podcast. We have an exciting show planned for you. But before we get too far, a word to the wise. Novitero contains swearing, allusions to sexual themes, as well as themes of minor violence. A more in-depth description of this content as well as the transcript can be found in the description. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy today's episode.
Did Cap and Lutiga say how long they were gonna be?
Nah, they usually don't. It varies. I'm gonna grab a drink. Y'all want anything?
You're what?
I'm gonna grab a drink. Do you want anything?
No, thank you. I'm alright.
Cesa?
No, I don't trust the people here.
Yeah, like they'd sneak something into a Govey's drink.
What exactly is a govey?
You don't know?
I mean, I have a guess, but...
Short for government official. But in most situations, it means anyone with enough money and power to give us trouble.
Like me?
I don't know. Are you going to give us trouble?
You and your captain seem intent on causing me trouble, not the other way around.
Well, that's crims for you.
Crims? Short for criminals.
Yep. Folks like us.
Are the extra syllables really so hard?
You've met Medic.
What about me?
We're speaking on your vast intelligence and devastating good looks.
Damn straight. So, Princess, what's your story?
What?
You know, your deal, how this all came to pass.
I believe I've already informed you of all of my... problem.
Yeah, old news. I mean, what's your home like? Your family.
Why is this important?
It kills time, mainly. But also gigs go off better when you know a little about those you're working with. Helps with the chemistry or whatever.
You're so full of shit, Medsy.
Oh, admit it, Val. You're curious about the princess, too.
I still don't see how this is all important.
It's not. But hey, Valzin and I will swap our tragic backstories for yours. What do you say? 2 for the price of 1? Ain't gonna get a much better deal than that anywhere in the galaxy.
If I answer your questions, will you shut up?
Odds are low.
You got a family? Siblings?
5 other sisters, as it happens.
Is that a lot for your species? Sorry, I don't know that many Foyetans.
That's not a surprise. Not many of us leave the planet. The war doesn't really help encourage the exploring thing. And it's fairly normal for royals, I suppose. Foyetans normally give birth to more than one child at a time, so families by default are bigger. Single children are rare.
You're a twin.
Triplet, actually.
Don't let Cap hear you say that.
And where do you fit in this big game of happy families? You're the oldest, right? You've got that preachy vibe.
Oh no, that'd be Vidirona.
Huh. You're not the heir, then?
Foyeta doesn't really base their heirs on birth. It's more about quality.
You're top quality, all right.
There are rigorous tests to ensure that whoever is selected as heir is fit for the task, especially since so many of us have siblings born mere minutes apart. Without the tests, things would get complicated.
Does the testing cover whether or not the next queen in waiting is a shitty gambler? Asking for a friend.
And your sister, Vidirona, what's she like?
We were close as children.
Part of your triplet gang?
No, actually, Dee Dee was a single-born. I suppose I felt bad about that. She didn't have the same innate connection the rest of our sisters did. But we were close, good friends.
But not anymore, by the sounds of it.
Rona was best at everything. She had something to prove. I always thought that even though she was born alone, she wanted to prove that it didn't hold her back. I think all the rest of us expected her to be the heir.
But then you were chosen.
Yes, I was chosen. After that, things just weren't the same. I'd spent so long preparing for how our friendship would change when she was queen in waiting that I never thought how things would be the other way around.
She didn't take it well then?
Well, no, not really.
Sounds like Big Sis is a sore loser.
I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't, but I would.
So, what happens if you can't return home?
Rona gets the throne.
Did she come second? Is that how it works?
We used to run the testing like that, but then the heirs kept ending up being mysteriously killed, and their ambitious second would take the throne until they got sloppy and had an accident.
Well, if you want ruthless bastards running your planet, that sounds like a great system.
For the last 300 years, the second is chosen by the heir.
Wait, you chose your bitter sister?
Dee planned to make me her second when she was chosen heir. When that didn't happen, I thought we were still friends, so...
Ooh, not a good move.
In retrospect, no.
Damn, Seth. That is one story.
Well, if we're making small talk, what about you then, Medic? I didn't think your species went off planet except for the Ozma conferences.
Well, that's true. Being exiled helps motivate one to leave, though.
You were exiled? Why?
That's a little bit of a long story.
So was mine. Spill.
Back on... We're divided into those who can regenerate our limbs and those who can't. My brother and I both worked on solutions for those who couldn't. His was from a more technical standpoint, mine a bit more scientific.
What did you do?
Nothing that no one didn't consent to, mostly.
What?
Long story short, turns out those of us who can't regenerate limbs can accept those from willing donors and reattach them completely with no problem. You got a few senses dulled, fine motor skills a little less smooth, but you get a working limb back.
That sounds like something you should be celebrated for, not exiled.
Well, originally, yes. I was going to get my name in the history books and be remembered forever. Then... See, though most of the folks from my planet don't leave, doesn't mean we don't contact others from outside. So, a buddy of mine from a planet over was passing through and decided to stop by. I'd never been in a ship before, and they were kind enough to take me for a spin. Something went wrong with the engine and we crashed. I lost a leg, but I survived. They weren't so lucky.
So you have regenerative abilities then? I've seen you walk on two legs, plain as...
I had cut off a toe before once out of curiosity. I can't regenerate anything, but I can accept limbs from another donor.
You stole your friend's leg.
It's not like they need it anymore, but yes. I didn't even know if two completely different species would be compatible, but I was far from civilization with no means of contact, and it was worth a shot. As soon as it became public knowledge, I was a pariah. Rumors got about that I forced the ship to crash to prove my big theory. I suppose I was lucky. Normally, this shit could get a person executed or locked up for life, but I'd done enough favors for the great and the good over the years to get my sentence changed to exile. And here I am.
Wow. Do you miss it?
Sometimes. Honestly, I get the better deal out of it. I'll take my exile. I kept serving as a doctor where I could, which is when I stumbled into Cap and Lutiga. They were pretty beaten up from God's knows what. I did a pretty good job patching them up. Cap asked me to join the team, and I figured, what the heck?
I thought Cap said they found you face down in a river, crying about your brother. She said you begged them to take you with them.
Cap is a dirty, rotten liar.
What about you, Valzin? I thought your people were supposed to be magistrates, in charge of deciding the fate of criminals, not working with them.
Ooh, Harsh but fair.
Yes, that's true in general terms.
Did you do something wrong? Like medic?
Not quite in the same way. I went to school on one of Zorbenhov's colonies. Not every Zorbenhov has memory reading abilities, you know.
Just ones with forearms, like you.
Right. Well, I was good at memory reading. Like, really good. I could dig out memories with the subject actively hiding a memory, or even one they had nearly forgotten. So, of course, when the recruiters came around looking for new students to train, I was picked up straight away.
So, what went wrong?
As judges, we should be just and fair, but we never treated the natives of our colony that way. When the Ozma conferences first started falling apart, colonies were the first to rise up. Rebels raided my academy and got the revenge for the centuries of horrible treatment by us Zorbenhovens.
What? How?
Memory reading can't be performed with less than 4 hands, which is why the 2-handed Zorbenhovens can't read memories. At a school full of the galaxy's next judges, they made all their training useless.
That's barbaric. How were you spared?
I wasn't.
But you still have 4 hands.
Thanks to yours truly.
Yes, thanks to Medic.
So Valzin stumbles up to our doorstep one night, all busted up and looking for sympathy. Cap's an old softy and makes us take them in.
They helped clean me up when I noticed Lutiga trying to patch up the ship. My fathers ran the mechanic shop back on Zorbenhov, and I was always helping them out. I fixed up the Karkanos, and they offered me a full-time position.
But your hands?
Well, Valzin told us their story, and I had always wondered if my people could reattach in reverse.
You cut off your own hands?
It wasn't that big a deal. The Matriarch had wanted some info out of a stubborn Skoxan. Normally I would have gone finger by finger,
That's
but
awful.
That's a replacement. Besides, Skoxans can regenerate limbs. I think. Right?
Either way, it worked. I can read memories again, but it's definitely a lot harder. Memory blocks make it damn near impossible. If I wasn't so good before losing my hands, I doubt I'd be able to memory read at all.
Come on, everyone. We're leaving.
What happened in there? And where's Lutiga?
Not in the mood, Medic.
But the invites, you got those, right?
Everything's gone to shit. No invites, no party. End of story. The adventure's over, Princess.
You can't. You can't just quit on me like this.
Watch me.
Novitero is a Goose Thunder Network produced podcast. Today's episode, 2 Backstories for the Price of One, was written by Sterling Ray and Jude Reid, with sound editing by Xander. Music was composed and performed by Benny James. The voices you heard in today's episode in order of appearance were Lanessa Tremblett as Cesa, Brad as Medic, Tal Minear as Valzin, and Jona Lune as Cap. Want to continue to stay up to date on all things Novitero? You can find us on Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram at Novitero Podcast. That's Novitero Podcast. If you're enjoying the show, tell a friend, and consider leaving us a review on iTunes so we may continue to spread our story. Can't wait for the next episode and need something to fill the gap? Consider checking out one of the other many Goose Thunder Network shows. There are stories about space, superheroes, mafias, and more, and we're sure you'll find something to enjoy.